Welcome back, YouTube, to Peterson Auto. Today we're going to talk about the acetylene torch. I always wind up forgetting this kind of stuff. For the exact settings and that. It's just turn it on and burn it. So I thought I'd do a YouTube video on it. It's one of those things that's kind of hard to find sometimes. So knowing this when you're borrowing a buddy's torch, or you put new regulators on, or you're working in a shop where there's 8 people and they all have their own theories on how things work. So obviously on top of the gas bottles, by the way, this should be secured and have a card. OSHA, MSHA, whatever SHA regulating industry you are involved with does not like this at all. Have those attached to something, tie them down, put them on a cart. I don't care, but that's a big no-no. Don't let the bottles freestand. I haven't made a cart yet, so we're out of luck. So we have oxygen and acetylene. Oxygen's usually bigger, and it's usually green. Acetylene is a smaller one, and it's usually black. I've seen some browns, some other ones. This one's black. Alright, so and then you have regulators, okay? Your regulators are your 2 key things to start with here. We're going to start with the acetylene. Now, this gauge I know is a little bit wonky and doesn't work as you would like. Your first gauge is your tank pressure. So I'm just under 100 psi in the tank, which means I still have plenty of acetylene left to use. But this gauge is your pressure going out to your torch head. And I'm at maybe 2-3 psi there. Now this is off, I just turned it off. I just turned the valve on quick to show you the gauges and where they're at. 2 to 3 psi. 3 to 5 is normal, depending on what you're doing. Somewhere around 3 to 5 will always work for you, it seems. This knob here is what changes the pressure. So it's going to increase or decrease it. And righty-tighty is going to decrease, and lefty-loosey is going to increase, if I recall correct. Now, so the acetylene, you want to run about 3 to 5 psi. That's what you want to remember there. The oxygen, we're going to move up here again. Same thing, opens up the bottle. And then we have our tank pressure, which has dwindled down to 0 because I turned it off. And our line pressure, which is usually around 30 to 50 psi. Easy way to do it. Typically you want to have your... If you're running 3 psi on your acetylene, probably run about 30 to 40 on your oxygen. I run the oxygen a little hot because I'll just torch right through stuff. So I'll get things glowing red, and I'm not afraid to do that. I'll run the oxygen a little hot. If you don't want to torch right through something, you just want to heat it up, turn that oxygen down a little bit, run a little more acetylene. So again, it has the adjuster here to adjust your line pressure, and your knob that turns it on and off. So since it's across the garage, we're going to run over to the torch and show you how the torch works real quick here. Okay, so this is probably another no-no. I just left this torch laying out here, mostly because I had to snake the hose the whole way across the vehicle and such. So it's just laying here. It's got a couple key components. You have your inlet valves, your mixture valve, your mixture lever, we'll call it. I don't know what the technical term is. And then you have a cutting tip itself. There's other top halves of this that come off of this nut for like brazing and whatnot. It's a small little tip. And you don't have the oxygen adjustment up here. You just keep it down here. So you have one will say gas and one will say oxygen. Your gas is going to run to the gas side. The oxygen is going to run to the oxygen side. Quite self-explanatory, but unless you're looking for them, you usually don't see them. Your old torch is, fairly dirty. So, first thing I do when I light up a torch is I'll turn on the gas. You turn it on. If you listen closely, maybe you can hear it. You heard that little whoosh? So if your bottles are on, you turn this on, get just to the point of the little whoosh, and then light it. I've always used a lighter for like, a cigarette or something. I don't like strikers. It's a little dangerous. use a striker if you want. Use a grill lighter. If you do have too much going, the gas will make a big fireball. So, you know, just get it to right where you can hear it whistling, and then try to light. It's typically what I do. Now, this is a brand new tip on it, which is nice. I go through tips, I mess them up, probably because I, you know, will just chowder right through things. Tips are cheap compared to, you know, labor. But then after you have that on, you adjust your oxygen a little bit. I usually don't even touch my oxygen. I leave this oxygen knob open. I turn this one off. But you want to turn this one on at least at some point to get the flow going. Then up here, this is your mixture. How much oxygen compared to how much acetylene. So if you open this one up most of the way or a good bit, you come up here and you just crack this open until you get the right flame you want. Different flames for different things. You know, you can run almost no oxygen, all acetylene, and get a really smoky flame. Some paint techniques involve using that. And puts the soot down and makes a really neat look to the paint. As a mechanic, you're not going to use that, you know. So you want to go ahead and slowly turn this knob up. And when you slowly turn this knob up, the flame coming out of that tip is going to go from campfire to blue demon fire. Okay? And then you're going to turn it just a little past the blue demon fire, and you're going to have little white bits sticking out of the holes in that tip there. Just little white flames. They'll be about, depending on your tip size and everything, 1/4 inch to 3/4 of an inch or so long. That's your sweet spot. That's what's going to heat everything up the quickest. It's going to torch through things the best. So once you have that, and you get it glowing red now, and you want to cut it, you hit the lever. And the lever is going to put full oxygen through. It is proportional, just like this knob is, but if you lock that lever down in that position, it's putting all the oxygen that you have on this valve right through. Now, some guys will limit this valve to get, you know, the amount of oxygen they need to blow through things too. Me, I don't. So, it's just habits. You know, if you're working on something really thick, you're going to want to crank this valve way up so you blow through real easy. Something really thin, you're going to want to turn it down a good bit, so that way you're not blowing out your liquid metal pole there. And when you're cutting, you just hold this in. Once it gets glowing red, hold this in, follow your liquid metal pole with the torch, and it'll keep cutting. As long as you keep the tip near that liquid metal, it'll keep cutting. One last thing is, with the tip, you don't want the tip to touch the metal. You want to hold it just a little bit above. They make little roller guides and whatnot. You know, usually I just hold it in a manner where I can use my forearm or my fingers. You know, I'll hold it something like that and use my fingers as a guide to keep that tip at the right spot. But you can get a little roller guide for it and a bunch of other stuff too. But anyway, quick how-to on the oxyacetylene torch. I wanted to give you some tips, tricks, and pointers, and kind of show you what's going on with it, and hopefully, you know, you learn something from this. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to Peterson Auto.